Okay, here we are again. Got the car out of its packaging, and this is how I got it. It does have some really nice back wheels, which I managed to get with it, and it worked out very, very well. But seeing as this particular car is exceedingly dirty, I decided I'm going to take it apart, take it all down, clean everything out, put it back together, and then I'll see about replacing some of the parts. I notice on some of the wheels, like the fronts, we do have bearings, but when you're looking at the transmission here, which is this little spot right here where the wheel hubs are. See if I can get that. Where the wheel hubs are, there should be two nice silver bearings, and they are absent. But as I'm looking at this particular car, I notice it's got a strange aftermarket transmission. I'm going to have to do some research to figure out if it's got full bearings. I may just take it apart and see what's going on inside. One of the things I like about this particular car is that it does have some of the original wheel hubs with the posts there. I had to, with the one I restored, pardon me, I had to get newer model wheel hubs, and so when it came time to mounting the tires, I had to actually get a little Dremel or an X-Acto knife and kind of dig out notches in the wheels where these particular pins, get those so I can focus on them. Those pins right here, that's pin right here coming through, that latches onto the back of the wheel like so, and that's what gives you your drive. But overall, this particular car is in very good shape. It's got the original shocks, which I like, although I noticed that it does have green springs, which I think might be softer or just from a different model car. But it does have the adjustments here, so if you need to force tension, give it a little stronger rear end as far as it not dropping. You just undo this little bolt here, and you can pull this assembly down, and then it will basically take the spring and keep it down there, and it'll increase the tension. Got a servo in here, and amazingly enough, it is the exact same servo, a Futaba S3000, that I believe I have in mine. No, I do have a Futaba, but it is a FSS148, which is as old as the car is, in this case 32 years old, so that one's probably a little more up to date and modern. Oh, I got some grass and leaves in here because you can tell I've been running it. So I may have to take this one and clean out all the things, little grassy doodads and whatnot. But overall, the car runs very, very well. It's not as fast as she used to be, but that's due to the motor I picked. I've been out of the game for a very long time, so I'm trying to learn as I go, or relearn as I go. If I can point this out here, this existing transmission here, if you can see that, and I'll try to get it right there, you can see right here. Get that back there. Sorry, I'm not used to this video blogging thing. Right there is where the wheel hubs are, and you'll notice those don't seat very well. That's another reason I had a little trouble with keeping the suspension tight so that the wheels, the axles didn't pop out. But you can see a bearing situated around that hub. I'm definitely going to have to take the other transmission apart just to see what we have. But overall, I don't know why I'm married to this particular model of car. Possibly because I've had it for so long, and even when it was just in pieces and the entire back end was missing, I couldn't bring myself to throw it out. I wound up basically keeping it in a laundry bag that I had from my Air Force days, and it sat in that bag for about 20 years until I finally decided, you know, I got some spare time. I need to find something to do, and lo and behold, she rides again. We're going to try and see if we can get this particular baby going again, at least in the same condition. And I might even play with motors to see if I can get it going a little faster. When my old car was in its peak, it did about 45 miles an hour. It probably does about 30, 35 now. But again, that's just a product of the motor and the batteries. I'll deal with that at some later date. But other than that, it's a good project to have for people who have never been involved in radio control cars or boats and what have you. Some people find it a little daunting because if you're wise and you want to get into it, you need to basically get a kit and put it together piece by piece so you know how it works. It's one thing if you go to a Radio Shack, or I don't even know if Radio Shack still exists, but a place where it's out of the box, you can drive it. There are some really nice products out there, but there are some that, oh, I just smacked into a curb and the wheel broke off and you have no recourse. With these cars, the newer ones especially, you wind up with the ability to, oh, I broke an A-arm or something like that. I can just go back and order or go back to the hobby shop and buy a new A-arm, pop it back on. 10 minutes later, you're back in business. They're a lot faster now. I've seen some incredibly fast cars on videos. A lot of people are into nitro, which is gas powered. I'm an electric guy. I like to plug it in, run the car, do what I'm going to do with it, and then charge the battery, and off we go again. I've had dealings with gas powered boats and the like, and I remember once getting a knock on my door in the middle of November back in near Buffalo, New York, and wound up going face to face with a friend of mine who says, "Get your bow." We wound up having to go back to this pond, and I had to tie a fishing line to an arrow and shoot his boat, which was stuck about 100 feet off the shore in water that was about 34 degrees, and he didn't want to go in there and get it. So I had to skewer his boat, but we got it back. With electric cars, unless the battery dies out on you, it's going to keep running, and then, okay, the battery died, go over there, pick it up, and put a new battery in it. Hope these little video blogs work for you. If you have any comments or concerns or anything you're interested in, leave it in the comments. Thank you.